Now cherry-picked from overcrowded refugee camps in Lebanon, Germany has received its first Syrian asylum seekers, all 107 of them. Their arrival was green-lighted only after opposition parties called out Chancellor Merkel for not doing enough to help the displaced. And more than 2 million Syrians have so far fled the war-ravaged country. And reporting from Berlin, RT's Peter Oliver.
Just over 100 Syrian refugees have arrived in Germany as part of a new programme of resettlement that's expected to see 5,000 people fleeing the ongoing violence in Syria come here to Germany to resettle. Now, this is part of a brand new initiative by the German authorities. These people won't go through the traditional asylum programme. They're going to be given work permits and allowed to stay for upwards of 2 years. Then their situation will be reassessed. Now, the group who arrived here in Germany, they comprised mostly of women who were described as vulnerable, young girls, people who had serious medical situations, as well as people who've been described as survivors of torture. Now, this has been welcomed by those that work with refugees here in Germany. However, they're saying it's really less than a drop in the ocean.
This is just a first step, but it's come way too late. And there is much more that needs to be done. It's tragic that we have 2.5 years of war without any answers from Europe to this human catastrophe. Europe tells Lebanon and others to open their borders, but the EU keeps their borders shut.
In the period between January and July of this year, around 21,000 Syrians are believed to have fled the violence in their country and applied for asylum here in the EU. The EU has taken on only around 4% of the huge numbers of refugees who are fleeing violence in that country. The majority of those have come here to Germany or to other countries in the north of Europe like Sweden. However, as we've heard, those who work with the refugees saying there's just not enough being done after these countries helped to continue this conflict by supporting the Syrian rebels with training and advice.